Good morning.
Good morning.
Um. Town taxes, town money receives has come to a dead halt. I haven't received anything. I think from our last meeting, I did receive the rest of Prospect and Thorndike and unorganized territory. There is a list there of all the towns that have paid. And what we have outstanding still. And that outstanding balance is going to have to go directly towards the TAN.
How much is an outstanding balance, Gary?
$5.8 million.
Outstanding,
Outstanding.
yeah.
Yes. And that will need to go towards the TAN.
Sign of the times.
Yes.
So my towns haven't paid it, have they?
Your town hasn't paid, Betty?
No.
You gotta go home and go in the room and cane and beat him over the head and say, hey.
But you said that Prospect has paid the second portion, which is the
Yes.
jail.
Yes.
Okay.
Belfast usually pays half of them, half.
Well, yeah, several of them do.
They haven't even paid.
So,
None of the towns, but my towns are all the most.
so what have you applied down so far on the TAN repayment?
The only thing that has been applied towards the TAN is the Knox payment of $110,000. That's it.
Okay.
So I know that it's due December 31st. I feel the pressure, and any monies we receive now need to go towards that TAN. And I have not used any TAN money set for the last couple of months, so I've been operating on the money that we have been receiving. So we still have $650,000 in that TAN, which I'd like to turn back over to the bank, not being used. But right now, I don't know. Right now, I just don't know what's gonna happen.
If we take everything that's left, Carrie, do we have enough to pay the TAN? To pay all?
Once we receive all of the town monies,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, good,
yes,
good,
yep.
We borrowed 5.5
yeah.
and we still have 5.8
So
outstanding.
that will give us roughly $300,000 in our account. More. And we currently have at this point in time, we have currently 1.6 million in our general fund checking. And we have 297,000 in our jail account.
And that, you don't do what percentage we are expended, relation to the. Is that a good place where we are?
I'm not sure. I'd have to research, and I'd have to figure out if we are or not.
Yeah.
I am preparing letters for the TAN for next year. I did reach out to Jennifer about refinancing if interest rates drop. That was a question that was at our budget committee meeting. And where the TAN is typically for 1 year, it is not common, but it is something that if the interest rates were to drastically drop, they'd go to the president of First National Bank. And there's no guarantee that it would drop. So if interest rates 8% and it drops to 4%, there's no guarantee that we would get that 4%. So refinancing, she said, typically is not.
I can't imagine that anybody.
It's a short of time, which, number one, it's not gonna drop down anything. significantly, and we're only talking year to year. It might be kind of a bad question to start with.
But
Yeah.
there was some talk about, putting it in the letter,
Yes,
Which I think,
And
I think we
why
can,
not put it in the letter? I mean, if they deny it, they deny it.
well, yeah, I think. I mean, we can put it in the letter, certainly,
Right,
but I've gotta tell you, I can't imagine that any of the banks would go along with it.
No,
Because it's as big a gamble for them as it is us.
right,
But I mean, it can't hurt, it
can't hurt to ask.
right. I
Um,
mean, it doesn't make it a stipulation that you don't do it, we're not gonna go with you, that's the thing where this is something that we would like to see.
I've been around, what, 12 years, and I've never heard of the interest rate going down
No,
in the 12 years that I've been here.
No.
I mean, it's a bad, year to year, it's a bad, question. I can see the banks being hesitant to change how to, to refinance something and year to year, it's just shows you that we have a committee that doesn't understand the process.
Right. So in the past, you have sent, and I'm looking for guidance for this. You have sent the TAN letter to Bangor Savings, Camden National, First National, Key Bank, Damascotta. Is there any other banks that you would like me to send that letter to?
I think we always send it to local.
Yeah,
Okay,
Because remember, you're the one that. Does the banking, so for the most part, and
yeah, that falls under you.
yeah,
what about credit unions? Or do you want to stay?
No,
yeah.
I don't think we're,
A credit unions FDIC.
I know they,
I don't
if
think
I see.
No.
do TAN stuff.
No,
Okay. And do you know at what point Dan Pittman gets involved to write the declaration? Is that after or during the TAN process when those bids come back or you've awarded the bid?
Best bet is to look at the emails from the past to see when Karen would connect with him, because I don't know the answer to that, but I think that would answer it. And if all else fails, call him and
Okay.
find
but
out.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think probably better to give him a heads up sooner than later. They're awful busy.
yeah, but I think it's just a template that he does for us once we've got it done, but she's right, Dana's very
I
easy
think
to.
they put that all together.
Then my next question is regarding the TAN, it just escaped my mind. Never mind.
Now you see
Okay,
why I
yeah.
write stuff on my hand, because I can't remember nothing.
Jumping back to town taxes. I was reading the state statute on interest, and I spent quite a bit yesterday researching what the interest rate is that we've been charging. And the state statute says that the commissioners need to vote on the interest rate. So from what I found, the interest rate for 2023 taxes is 8%.
How much?
8%.
So if they don't pay by,
December 1st,
yeah,
8%
charged 8%.
interest.
Yeah,
So, but we have to motion it, so I make a motion that we adhere to state standards or practice of charging whatever the state rate is, which happens to be 8% on delinquent taxes.
I'll second.
all in favor? Thank you.
Did you get them?
Thank you.
I billed Knox for 911 services rendered from September 24th to October 26th. And I'm just waiting for reimbursement on that payment.
When was this? September?
So I've billed them once for 911 services, and then the second bill just went out for 9/24 through 10/26.
How prompt is the payments when,
Week to 2 weeks.
and it's an ACH, right? So
It
it's
is an
direct.
ACH, yes, and it comes direct to us. So I had billed them for Knox services for correction officers going to Knox. I billed them 2 weeks ago, and I actually this morning received reimbursement checks for those. So it's whatever their commissioner cycle is.
Oh, okay.
Are we still sending them?
Do we what?
Do we send them to the corrections offices down there? Are we still staffing them a lot?
They pay.
Right, but we're
Yeah,
still,
I did, I wasn't aware of that until I read it in an email. I guess the reason I wasn't aware of it, cause they're paying.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm glad they're paying, but it's like, so they're still
Right.
understaffed.
I understood that it wasn't as many having to go or as many hours, but that we were still doing it.
You know, I talked to the sheriff about this the last time we was taking a trip together, and I said, I can't understand how you can have a complete turnover in twice or 3 times in 2 years.
No, I don't.
I just don't know, did they get up to staff, and then a couple months later, we lost 6 people.
No, I agree. I don't.
So they're turning the bill around in kind of 2 weeks. I think that is reasonable,
It'd be the same process
Yeah.
here.
as
So,
long as they
but
stay
they are,
on schedule.
they definitely are paying in the invoices. I'm making sure that I send them,
Yeah.
just as soon as I
Okay.
have received the information. I've been working further on corrections and deposits into NDS, so things are still looking pretty good there. We did have a handful of vendors that had credits. I just reached out to those vendors and asked that they reimburse us for the credit that we have. So I have about $1,900 that's going to be coming back to us.
Yeah.
And some of it was just due to overpayments, and so the vendors have been working with me. I reached out to WB Mason. We finally have a rep for this area. And he will be coming to our next department head meeting to speak with us.
Oh, good. Doesn't WB Mason match prices?
There is an email that they do match prices,
Oh.
yes. And the gentleman that's going to be meeting with us, I guess he also worked primarily with office furniture. So I am hopeful that he will really help us, especially where the deeds and DA is moving to different locations, that we can obtain some good deals and cut some costs. And so I'm just really hoping that he'll be able to provide us a good service so that we can continue doing business with them. You have, in the handout, I gave you an updated revenue sheet. So that's the interest earned for the month of October. And current balances in those accounts.
Barry, where should we be at? So we're November. So we should be at expenditures, probably. What? 89-90%.
I would say in bucks there, 85 to 90. Cause I know some of them are almost,
98%, I just saw.
yeah. And I know that I'm reviewing a couple of the departments, for corrections and kind of see why some things are over, others were, extra, training opportunities that don't usually come around or local. The cost of things going up, unfortunately, but we are closing in on the year and budgets are tight.
Sign of the times, Carrie,
I know. It's,
tough time.
it is. So, before I give you the totals on the jail and the county, you're gonna hear a large amount. but that is due to, recording the monthly health allocations properly into NDS from February to October. We're not paying all of that out on a check. I just entered it into NDS. These have already been paid. So just note that you're gonna hear a very large number. And then moving forward, the health insurance will be put in on a monthly basis. I have copies for you too, Barb, that I'll give you before I leave.
Thank you.
Before you go into that, that's your, finance report, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I move that we accept and file, finance report.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you.
So for jail, our accounts payable total is $243,935.09. The payroll was $67,850.72 for a grand total of $311,785.81.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Look, we all signed in the same color.
Thank you. Good job.
So proud of all of you.
The county accounts payable total is $735,602.06. The county payroll is $179,486.17 for a grand total of $915,888.23.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Did you get a slip from my agenda by mistake?
Nope.
I don't have it. I didn't steal it.
You sure?
I'm checking now. I'm making sure, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Bill, here's another if you need it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. And that's all I have for you
Thank
today.
you, Carrie.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
very, very much.
You're very welcome.
Mr. Jason. Who's in the back of the room? Come on up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we all on this chilly morning?
We're fine.
Good, glad to hear it. Nothing too special to report. We got the switches in for the new phone system. I was able to, I got a quote from those from the phone CMC who's installing the new phone system. They were about $3,000 a piece, but I was able to get them slightly used on eBay for about $700 a piece. So needless to say, I went that way with it. The only thing is I have to drive them up to Farmingdale now rather than them having them shipped up there. So I'm going to try to get that done later today.
Yeah.
They
You
offered
have to drive them up there.
they offered to come and pick them up for their $100 an hour rate, but I figured I'm salaried, so I'd much rather drive them up there. Figured it's a lot
Appreciate
cheaper.
that.
So I think that makes more financial sense personally. If you folks are okay with that. So I just figured that made more sense than having them come down here and charge us to do it. Plus mileage, I'm sure they would charge us and everything else like that. So so that's moving ahead. We're waiting on one more part that's supposed to come in Friday for that. And then we can start moving ahead with that project and hopefully get that done as soon as possible. got the new detective, Carrie Libby, I think it is. So she's all set up at the sheriff's office and ready to go there. I'm working on finishing up the last of the new deputies up there. I've got to reach out. I reached out to Jordan Tozier, the SRO up at Mount View. I've got to grab, he has 2 laptops up there, so I've got to grab one from him to pull back for one of the deputies.
Why is he got two?
I don't know, he had an old one that he was still using and we kind of said, hang on to it until we need it, but now we need it, so. I gotta pull that back so we have one, so we don't have to order a new one, so. I've got to pull that back to finish up the last deputy, so I'm working on that. Other than that, just kind of working on getting things lined up. I've ordered the cabling for the deed space. Ray is set to start on that next week. I think that's set to come in today or tomorrow. So he's gonna get started over there on the cabling and things like that. It's my understanding that I think the electrician has started over there already. Ray has met with Stacy to see where desks are gonna go and where network drops need to go and everything like that. So he'll start cabling that up.
Good.
So,
The Tuesday, Thursday deal is working out,
yeah, we're gonna start that next week. So, yep, that's the plan. So we'll start doing that next week and that should work out, I think. So,
good.
yep, and that's pretty
That's
much all
it?
I have for you, I think. I don't think there's anything.
Well, you never asked if anybody, so that's good.
No, I think we're good. And I think with the switches that we had to buy, I still think we're under the Knox, funds that they gave us for the project. I've got to total it all up. I think we're close to it, but I think we're still under. If not, I think we might be like $100 over. So
Good. Good.
keeping it very close. So,
Very good.
yeah, so I think that's all. And I don't think I have anything else for you unless you have any
Thank you,
questions for
Jason.
me. So.
And how are you doing on a breakdown of each department, what they have for technology, what's new, what's old, what's?
So I got that breakdown. I had that breakdown of stuff that needs to be replaced that I presented in the budget committee meeting. And I'm working on the one of what we have replaced. I was doing that before I was out. I've just got to go and revisit it, see where I left off, honestly, because that kind of wiped my brain and I've got to go kind of refresh it. So
Okay.
see where we are. But that, the list I gave you in the budget committee is everything that just needs to be replaced that was purchased back in 2014.
Mhm.
That would bring us up to date with everything, but I do just need to go and see
Well, yeah, no,
what we've replaced and when we
I'm
replaced
sure it's
everything
quite
else.
an exercise,
So-
but we've spent 200,000+. It's
Yes, yeah, so no, I
what
just
do we
need to
got?
go and break that
Yeah.
down by department and see what we've replaced and when it was done. It was done in the last 2 years. I just need to figure out what specifically what was
Yeah.
spent when and in which department. So,
Cool.
All right, Jason.
all
Thank
righty,
you.
Thank you.
have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, you as well.
Next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I only have 3 items to review with you today.
Hey, good.
But I do have an executive session, so.
No, see? Yeah,
All right, so the first is Deputy Aaron Santana has successfully completed field training and is eligible for his sign-on bonus of $3,750. He was eligible under the old sign-on bonus.
of 15,000.
No, for him, because he was not a blue pinner, it was 7,500. So he was eligible for that.
And when does he receive the other portion of that?
1 year into his anniversary. And the same with Lucas Babcock. Lucas Babcock has received a positive performance evaluation from the Maine Criminal Justice Academy and will be eligible now for his first installment of the sign-on bonus, which again is $7,500, and he will receive $3,750.
So these guys have been to the academy?
You need, yes.
Yes. Oh, sorry. So the academy, Lucas Babcock just got back from the academy, so he got the positive performance evaluation. Aaron Santana has not yet, but he has successfully passed his field training, which was one of the criteria in the sign-up bonus.
Betty was right. Do we need to?
No,
are we supposed to-
I just think it's all,
Still noted.
Yeah.
Okay,
This.
is approved initially.
Right.
And then the third person is Jacob Pierce. He did come to us as a blue pinner.
And he has successfully passed his field training specifically with Waldo. And he's eligible under the new sign-on bonus plan, and he was now eligible for $1,000.
Noted.
Very good,
That is it. I have copies for Barb.
It's actually all been approved.
yeah.
for, so
Right.
you
Yeah.
just know.
I never know if I'm supposed to note it or not, or what.
Yeah, no, I kept thinking it would be, you'd have to vote, just, I know you approved the sign-on bonus, but the spending of it now, I guess, was what I'm thinking. That is it, and I'll see you during my.
That's it for you?
That is.
You got a
She'll
record.
be
this-
back.
I have a list of things to talk about.
She'll be back. Thank you very much.
But you have to share a trivia question with me now. You got a bag. What did you know on the trivia bags?
Okay,
Okay,
thank
but
you.
Strawberries are not a berry?
I know, that's crazy.
I didn't know honey was an antibiotic.
I did know that. I did know that.
Okay, Chris, we're ready for you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Very well. How about you?
You dressed warm this morning.
I don't know. That's a windbreaker.
I was cold this morning, so I'm all bundled up today. I don't have much going on. Tomorrow night, the vent hood in the kitchen of the jail, that's being cleaned. I'm gonna like 6 o'clock to do that. That's like an annual thing, so it's getting that done. I'm having a walkthrough with the duct cleaning service tomorrow during the day to get the air ducts cleaned at the jail. Just kind of figure out, because he has like a big commercial trailer to do it, so just trying to find a spot where to park that and get set up what he needs set up.
How long will it take him to do that?
I do not know that. I can ask him that tomorrow, but I do not know how long that process takes at all, or anything like that.
No, I didn't know if it was gonna be packed there for a
Right.
week.
I don't think that. He said all I know is it's a pretty big trailer and it's like a big commercial vacuum essentially, so. I don't think it would be too long, but I don't know either. I just gotta get a plan together to paint the offices over there for Annette, Carrie and Susan. I'll probably ask a couple guys from the reentry center to help me.
Please
I
do.
gotta get going on that here soon. And then also, I need to get a plan together to move the archives from the super court to the old jail. And I didn't know, instead of using like multiple trips, with, let's say my truck, if we get like a U-Haul truck. And it shouldn't be too expensive, and it would be like 1 or 2 trips, you get a big enough truck where you can just fit those. Boxes in there.
Don't you have a trailer hidden at the garden somewhere?
We have,
But it's full, isn't it?
No, I'm thinking like a flatbed trailer or something.
we do have a flatbed trailer out there. I don't know if, I guess, what if it rains,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
as I said, I'm just,
I'll research the pricing of that, and I had mentioned that in an email to you folks, that we do have records preservation funds that could cover that in the reserve. In the reserve.
Then that's fine. As I
Yeah.
said, I'm just looking, I got a lot of pink lines in here.
I know.
And I'm
it's
just looking
very-
like, oh my God.
No, this would come out of the reserve and still leave a lot in that, so, what I'll do is if they'll write, I'll call, find out, do you know roughly how large you think we should?
For U-Haul?
Yeah, why don't we get together later, we'll figure
Yeah.
out how big, and then I'll get the pricing and send it.
I don't think would have to be too big. It was I was just thinking to save us more trips with a little pickup truck where that would take much more time.
Yeah.
Right. Only a few boxes at a time. That's all I was
Right.
thinking, so.
I would think it'd be easier to get a U-Haul truck and you don't have to worry about the weather.
The
Yeah.
thing with that too is Eric Harvey talked with me and they have records that need to be moved too, so
Yeah.
I would love to try to coordinate
Yeah.
that. They're working on them hard and fast right now, so I think this is gonna come together well.
Okay, sweet. Good. And that is all I have going on at the moment. So
That's all, huh?
that is it for now.
I know the rates were jacked up, obviously, on our phones and obviously on CMP, but when I see your water sewer lines are running all in the red, I'm assuming that those went up also.
Yeah, they've been slowly going up too, and like I said, I still feel what I see on my chart is that what I have recorded down anyway, the bills that I've seen, they don't match everything that's on there. like we talked about last time, the electricity bill for the extension building. I know it's a very red, they're very in the red on the paper. That doesn't match my record, so I don't not know why that is personally, but the water sewer has gone up a little bit, at least in the estimation from the graphs I saw last year to net current.
All right,
Right,
thank you, Chris.
thank you guys. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
I'll go see if Mike is here. He's the next one, right, Mike?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Oh, that's right, he was gonna Zoom today, I'm sorry.
couldn't see you,
Sorry,
Mike.
You know.
Hold on. It won't let me turn the video on because I'm on my phone. I had to visit tower sites this morning, so looking for some parts. The only thing I have going on is that I got my two new trainees. They should be ready by the end of the month. They're doing very, very well. Other than that, Knox is still going very well. I did get an email from the director over at Hancock County asking if we would entertain giving them a proposal for taking their 911 calls. However, I don't feel that it is an interest to the comm center. I think they're going through negotiations right now, and they do it every negotiations. They ask for a quote. I have not reached out to him. Just looking to see how you folks wanted to proceed with that.
I don't know, my feeling is, Mike, we shouldn't consider it at this time. I mean, we're not a free-for-all on taking 911 calls.
Well, I mean, I think the fact that our staff is being strapped down with initial calls from Knox at this point in time, and they agreed to it. They're
Yes,
satisfied with it. I certainly would not push the issue, so no, I wouldn't support responding back.
No, and I'm the same way. And I honestly think, knowing the director over there, he's only looking for something to say to the commissioners, no, this is not worth it, and that we need to keep it. I think that's what he's looking for. Like I said, they've done it every year, every time the contract has come up for a renegotiation, and we've never responded back to them. So, but other than that, everything's going well. I don't have anything else.
Okay, Mike. Appreciate the update.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate hearing that it's going well, taking the 911 calls from Knox. That's our staff is doing well. Everybody seems to be satisfied. That's a good thing.
Yep, we're pretty good with it. Having conversations with them down there, I'm still skeptical that they won't be ready by February, but hopefully they will. We'll see what happens.
I think your thinking is about right, Mike.
Yeah, I figure come February, we'll reevaluate, see where we're at. If they're ready to go, great. If they're not, we'll look at our options and see what needs to be done. But we're not there yet, so we'll see what happens then.
Nobody wanted to talk to us about a long-term contract, so it is what
Yep.
it is.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens come February.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bob, we're raising right along.
Yes, we are. And I will continue that pace. You have been receiving the Kiplinger letters. Do you want to continue that? They're sending an early bird special with supposed savings, which I need to check. But normally the subscription would run out in February. If that makes sense to renew it early, if it's more cost effective, do you want to continue to receive that?
Yeah, I think it's a good letter.
It is a good letter.
Okay, I will price that out and figure out what's the better value
Yeah.
for the county. Okay. Carrie had mentioned reviewing budgets and making corrections in the expenditures, and I took some time and did some reviewing of your budget, she did make some corrections, but I think there might be a few other things that maybe accidentally were coded there, and I'd like a little time to go through that and make sure that's all correct, because that has never been expended so much. And I know there are other reasons that were unexpected.
In the current budget,
Yeah,
we're
10,
in,
20, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to double check that, and she said she was fine with that, so I'm gonna go through that more. Tomorrow, after union preparation, we have some work to do there. I'll be at the archive, so if you need me, please just
Okay.
call the work phone over there. I want to get those labels on so that he can act whenever he's ready.
Right.
And other than that, I have minutes. I printed out them for you this morning, so I had sent them
Everything.
yesterday.
I don't have any problem with it.
Bob, what is all the, cause I see we're in the red in our department under equipment repairs.
That's one of the things I need to research.
So, and I see,
That usually goes for maintenance on the copier
yeah,
and the maintenance contract on the copier. And so that's one of the things I need to look at to see if there was something accidentally put there that doesn't belong. Any other lines that are, I highlighted several.
I've got highlight, oh, my next thought, postage meter.
Yeah, that I need to research too.
No, we need to buy postage, cause you see it's all going up again.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's December 1st, it's going up again, or it's soon.
I haven't heard, but.
And I always say that
Yeah,
because
but-
I always like go to the post office and
Right.
stockpile, cause all the stamps are considered forever stamps. I just wonder if we couldn't. If
I'll
we've got
I'll
anything
look at
left.
it because I think it's in the red right now, isn't it? Does it show in the red?
No, I didn't even. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I'll look at it from that angle, both angles.
Finance postage isn't, so I think you'll find that we've carried some of theirs.
Oh, maybe.
They're only at 50%.
Okay, I'm sorry, you're waiting for me. The last, oh yeah, did you vote on the minutes? I'm
No,
sorry.
you read them, I read them. I only had one thing, and it's just very minor.
Okay,
There's a lot of he and she in it.
okay,
And it seems to me like a lot more he and she than should be in there.
okay,
So if you could just change that to put the person's name,
sure.
that to me is, gets stolen off, especially when halfway down the page. You know,
Okay.
and look there, that's
Sure
who
thing.
she or he is.
I will do that.
Okay. Other than that, they're fine, so I would make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
With those changes.
With those changes. Okay, thank you. That's it for me.
That's it?
Yes.
Everybody's on point today. Public comment. None at this time.
Great move.
Should I let
And-
the sheriff know that we're running way ahead?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Or actually, if Susan or whoever is listening in the commissioner's office in finance, if someone would call Matt Curtis and just let him know we're way ahead and he could come down pretty much any time. That would be great. No way of knowing. if
Well, they're all, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but maybe they're not listening.
participants.
Gary is calling.
thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
Well, that's good. You're moving right ahead.
While we're waiting for them, I would just tell you that
Right?
I had a good conversation with the city manager yesterday. And we have a good conversation going with our attorney, and I think we'll come up with in a few days with something that's agreeable to everybody.
Kelsey's letting Matt know and he'll be down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Almost reminds me of the old intercoms.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right, Laura.
Dating oneself.
I'll take a break while we're waiting for Thanks, Bob. Cruising this morning.
It sounds like it.
You have something to take up before we go into our executive session?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
real quick. The major had approached me back at budget development. Inquiring about a transport vehicle this
Yeah.
year, and knowing how budgets were, I didn't think it would be such a good idea this year. So at any rate, what I did start looking at was the current inventory, and we have two of those big transport vans.
Yeah.
And one of them we really do not use as much. We ended up getting into doing different things with corrections, as far as we bought it with the idea we're gonna be trucking a lot of people up to Somerset at the time, and
Yeah,
so anyway. So I decided, it was quite low mileage, so I decided to. I pulled a book value on it, and it got me thinking, so I reached out to Darling's, where we bought the thing. And they've essentially offered us about 10,000 more than we paid for the thing 4 years ago. And they would trade us for a new SUV, like the Explorers.
yeah,
We could basically, they had a couple of those that another department didn't take when they bid them, so they're willing to trade with us. Straight
We're
up.
gonna give them a van.
Yep.
A transport van for an SUV.
Yep, so
What are we
the-
gonna do with the SUV?
they're gonna use that for their transports. Right now, they're using, because they're only bringing like 1 or 2 people at a time. And they're using one of our old patrol ones, and it's got like 140,000 miles. We're starting to get some maintenance issues with that.
What's the value of the van?
They are giving us a value. $47,000.
So they're gonna give us 47,000 for the van, and what's the SUV cost?
The 47,000. It's gonna, they'll do it as an even trade.
So
The
it's gonna be
sticker
a hell of
price,
an SUV.
well, it's the ready for the road package, and I don't know if you remember that, but that comes with all the lights and siren and everything already in it. It's actually cheaper than we paid for the hybrid one. It's a straight gas one. But that's cheaper than we paid a few years ago for the it is a 2023. So we basically have to put a radio in it and some stickers.
sounds like a good deal to me.
And just where we're at, we're not using it. I don't want this van to sit.
Why would let it sit there and depreciate?
Exactly. I just wanted to kind of get your blessing on that.
And something that's being used daily.
That's exactly my point. I agree.
Want a motion on that?
Do we have another van though?
Oh, yeah, we have,
What's the mileage on the other van?
I think it's around 40 or 50,000.
yeah,
And
What
we
year
use it
is
pretty
that
much, it's a year newer. So yeah, it's a 21. And that's the one we use for, like when we have to go to the garden or do whatever.
But just to be clear, this SUV will be for transport.
Yes.
It's not just gonna be another,
No, this is for, it's gonna be it'll be the primary transport vehicle. So it kind of accomplishes what the major was looking for within the division, and using what we already have, turning something we already have into something more useful.
wanna make a motion on that, Ben?
Yeah, I make a motion that we proceed with the plan.
Okay.
The trade.
that we trade the correctional van
Right,
for an
yeah.
SUV. I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Do we get a copy of those?
And these are the only copies I have right now. I will be
Could we
sending.
get a copy of those? I
We
bet
can.
somebody makes some right now.
Yeah,
Nope, that's fine. I just want to make sure that.
Oh,
you have
sure.
you-
Great, thanks.
So that's the window sticker on the new one. That's the trade. write-up for the other, and that's the email he sent to Cody.
Thank you. so
Thank you.
much.
Yep,
How
sure.
many copies?
All of it.
All of you? Okay.
It'll also come through on the buyer's order as far as all the numbers too. For the new vehicle.
That all your open session stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, close it down, yeah.
Motion to go into executive session, Title 1, 405, subsection 6A.
Okay, no, yeah, everything you have to hold when I give you everything else.
We're gonna wait.
Okay, so I'm just going to end the meeting.
End it.
Yeah, that's right.